Hey guys, this is Mr. Happy's Missing, bringing you the bonus episode for Super Mario Galaxy, the one and only. So guys, last time, well, I beat the game. So this is going to be the last Super Mario Galaxy video that I'm going to be posting, or at least for a long while. I might come back to do Super Luigi Galaxy, but do not get your hopes up. I'm putting this game down for a really long time. Because it was stressful, it was kind of a pain in the butt. It was a lot of fun on the way, but it was a pain in the butt. Anyway guys, as I mentioned in several episodes before, I'm going to be going to do Rosalina's storybook. So, we're going to go ahead and hop in here, and Lumas, and hey look, Rosalina herself.
Let us begin.
It looks like she's going to read from her storybook of stories. Now, before I get into reading it, since I am going to be reading it, I've got nothing better to do, and I'm not just going to flip through these pages and let you guys read it. At least by yourselves, anyway. So, this storybook is... Actually, you know what? No, I'm not going to spoil anything for you. You're going to have to just figure out what the story is about and see if you catch anything. Maybe, maybe not. I guess we'll see. So, anyway, guys, let's go ahead and hop into it. Chapter 1, The Celestial Duo. Our story begins a very, very long time ago with a young girl one day. God damn it. Me and my grammar today. With a young girl. One day, this girl spotted a rusted spaceship holding a small star child. That makes me think of Attacking Toucans, how whenever he reads something, he can never get it right. Or he has a hard time getting it right anyway. I guess I'm the same way. I guess we can just call that the LPers talking dilemma or something. I don't know. Okay, anyway, back to the story. What's your name? Are you lost? The girl asked the star child. I'm Luma, and I'm waiting for Mama. She's coming for me on a comet, said the star child, who had been waiting day and night. I wish I had some other people here to do, like, voice acting. That'd be cool. Anyway, I'm just gonna do this by myself. Don't worry, I'll wait with you, the little girl promised Luma. At nightfall, the little girl borrowed her father's telescope and peered into the sky. She looked and looked, but she saw nothing. Hours turned into days, and then years, but still the sky revealed nothing. Finally, the little girl sighed and said to Luma, If we stay here looking much longer, I'll be an old lady soon. But then she had an idea. Why don't we go out there and find your mother ourselves? How proactive! The girl and Luma fixed up the rusty spaceship, and then the two set sail into the starry sky. And this is how the search for the Celestial Mother began. So because we unlocked all the chapters at once, we're going to get all the chapters at once. If you read the first one and then you came back later, Rosalina, you'd see the same scene again, and then Rosalina would pull up chapter 2 for you. And then after she reads all the chapters, you can do a chapter select. But because we unlocked them all, we're going to get them all in one sitting. Yay for us. Chapter 2, Starbits. Days passed with no sight of the comet, or even a single planet. Instead, asteroids extended far as the eye can see. I skipped a couple words, but get over it. Also, asteroids. Asteroids everywhere. If I had known it was going to take this long, I would have packed more jam, said the little girl above the rumble of her belly. Before they left, she had packed all the essentials. Telescope, butterfly net, stuffed bunny, bread, milk, jam, and apricot-flavored tea. But I forgot to bring water! At this, Luma burst into gales of laughter, and then the girl began to pout. As long as I have Starbits, I'll be fine, said Luma. Want some? The little girl couldn't stay mad after hearing this. Luma continued to laugh, and the girl couldn't help but join in. Alright, maybe just a nibble. Leaning far out of the ship, the pair began to collect starbits with the girl's net. They almost fell out a few times, but they kept on collecting. The starbits tasted like honey. Chapter 3: The Comet. A beam of light pierced through the ship's window. Thinking it was the morning sun, the girl peered out through the window, only to find a turquoise blue comet shimmering at her. The little girl shook the sleeping Luma awake and shouted excitedly, "We have to get to that comet!" The pair descended on the comet and found that it was made of ice. They looked high and low, but Luma's mother was nowhere to be found. Exhausted, the little girl sat down with a flop, utterly unable to take another step. Look! Peering down at the icy ground where Luma was pointing, the girl suddenly noticed clusters of starbits encased in the ice. Pretty good, huh? Finding starbits is my specialty, said the Luma, beaming. There's ice here, but it's so warm. I'll bet there's water here too. The two decided to stay on the comet for a while. Riding the turquoise comet, the pair continued their search for Luma's mother. Chapter 4: The Dream. One night, the girl dreamed about her own mother. "Where are you going?" she asked her mother's retreating back. Without turning, her mother replied, "Don't fret, dearest. I'm not going anywhere. I'm always watching over you, like the sun in the day and the moon in the night." A wave of sadness washed over the girl. "What about when it rains and I can't see the sun or the moon?" Her mother thought for a moment before responding. "I will turn into a star in the clouds and wait for your tears to dry." When she awoke, the girl's face was damp with tears. "You have starbits in your eyes," said Luma to the girl. Wiping her face, the girl replied, "These are tears, not starbits. I'm crying because I'll never see my mother ever again." At this, Luma began to cry too. "Mama, oh mama, wah." I'm really bad at voice acting. Or I'm not trying, I guess. But should I try? Maybe I'll try. The pair traveled through the starry skies, and though they encountered many other comets, not one of them held Luma's mother. Luma was despondent. Now, Luma, the rain clouds won't go away if you keep crying," the girl said, giving Luma a squeeze. "I'll give you a present if you stop." The girl closed her eyes and said gently, "I'll take care of you." With these words, she felt a small spark in her heart. Chapter 5: Home. "The kitchen will go here and the library will go over there," the girl said busily to herself. "We'll put the gate here." Ever since the girl took Luma under her care, she'd been bustling about at a feverish pace. It's a lot of work, but it's worth it to make a happy home. It turned out that starbits weren't the only things buried in the ice. There were tools and furniture, unlike any they had ever seen, and the girl used them to build a home. Looking at the completed house, Luma remarked, "Don't you think it's awfully big for just the two of us? With a library, bedroom, kitchen, fountain, and gate, it was certainly spacious, but still missing something. Or, yeah, well, to summarize, but still something seemed to be missing. I mess up. Deal with it. If only my mother, father, brother, and sister, and aunt, and grandparents, and I'm making stuff up, were here." The girl said wistfully, "Indeed, the house was too large for its two small residents." That night, clutching her favorite stuffed bunny close to her heart, the girl fell asleep in the starship. Chapter 6: Friends. Then, one day, while the girl sat sipping tea, a tiny apricot-colored planet appeared on the horizon. From the planet nearby, Luma, of the same color, emerged. "Do you two know each other?" the girl asked the two Lumas gleefully. Despite the girl's excitement, they seemed uneasy. The two Lumas neither drew closer nor backed away from each other. Instead, they just stared. Then one Luma broke the silence. "My mama!" At once, the apricot Luma parroted back, "My mama! My mama! My mama! My mama!" The two Lumas began to dance around the girl frantically, and neither showed any sign of stopping. The girl was so charmed by this adorable scene that she couldn't help but laugh, and that's when something very strange happened. Suddenly, more Lumas began to pop out from the apricot planet. They were different colors, but they all shouted the same thing. "My mama! My mama!" The sight of all the shouting Lumas only made the girl laugh harder. "What am I going to do with all these children?" The Lumas just stared blankly as she doubled over laughing. "I guess we'll have to name each and every one of you. Good luck telling them apart." Tomorrow, once she had finished naming them all, she would begin moving all the Lumas into the new house. Chapter 7: The Telescope. After seeing their 100th comet, a sudden thought popped into the girl's head. "I wonder if my home planet is still as blue as it was." That's when she remembered her father's telescope. Peeking into the telescope, a tiny blue dot floated into sight. It was smaller than a starbit. "How strange, it's so far away, but it feels so close." She twisted the knob of the telescope, and the blue dot grew until she could make out a grassy hill dotted with flowers. It seemed very familiar to her. Zooming even closer, a terrace on the hill came into view. "I used to go stargazing there when I lived on my home planet." She remembered rubbing the sleep out of her eyes as she followed her father up that hill to look at the stars. She remembered how she and her brother would sled down that hill. She remembered having picnics with her mother on that hill on bright and windy days. And "I want to go home. I want to go home right now." The girl burst into tears, and the Lumas didn't know what to do. "I want to go home. I want to go back to my house by the hill. I want to see my mother." God, I make her sound like a priss. I'm sorry, that's my fault, not hers. Don't blame the words, blame me for giving the wrong tone. The girl was shouting now, her face wet with tears. "But I know she's not there. I knew all along that she wasn't out there in the sky because she's sleeping under the tree on the hill." And by sleeping, well, something slightly more morbid. That girl's cries echoed through the stars, and a hush fell over the area. Chapter 8: The Wish. Though usually quite cheery, one day the girl became sad again. Luma drew close and tried to comfort her. "Mama, you still have me. And don't be sad about your mama, because she's a part of you. That means she's always close by. It's like me. I love starbits because they remind me of my mama." "No, no," the girl said, unable to stop the tears. A lonely look flickered across Luma's face, but it was soon replaced by a wide grin. "I have an idea. I will transform into a comet, a soaring comet that can carry you all on this journey." With that, Luma trailed bands of white, soared high into the sky, and just as quickly started to plummet back down. Kaboom! Kablam! The ground shook, and a bright light poured out of the crater that the Luma had created. The bands of light twisted together to form a comet tail. And then Luma emerged, reborn as a comet. girl could scarcely believe her eyes. But how? She kept asking. Our destinies as Lumas is to transform into different things, said a red Luma who had suddenly appeared. Stars, comets, planets, we can become all of these things. Become all the things? When I grow up, I want to become a star that makes someone special smile, said a green Luma. A blue Luma chimed in. That Luma turned into a real cutie of a Comet, didn't he? All of the Lumas together said, No more crying, Mama. Thank you, said the girl in a whisper, and she pulled the Lumas close and hugged them. Or as many as she could grab, I guess. From that day on, starbits no longer fell from the girl's eyes. The comet set forth for the girl's home planet, its long tail blazing proudly behind it. Final chapter. Family. With its many Lumas and telescopes, the comet was quite a sight to behold. The girl and the Lumas were proud to call it home. At a welcoming party for a new Luma, the girl gathered everyone in the kitchen and said in a louder voice than usual, Alright everyone, let's make a cake sprinkled with star bits, then it will be a star cake. The Lumas excitedly began to gather the ingredients. As she watched the Luma scurry about, the girl smiled and thought to herself, This is my family now, and I will stay with them until they're ready to leave the nest. And when they do leave, I'll see them off with a smile. Because that's what makes a mother happiest. That night, when the girl lay down to sleep, a soft light enveloped her and reminded her of the blue planet she once called home. But it would be nice to return home once every 100 years to nap in my favorite sleeping nook. The comet carrying the Lumas and the girl continued on its journey to this very day. With more family members in tow than can be counted, it is said that the comet visits the girl's home planet once every 100 years, its proud white tail glittering in the sky. The end. That's all. My story is finished. Why am I reading her stuff? Yep, so as I was saying, there is a chapter select screen where it'll basically, you get a chance to open the book and then you can look at all the stuff right there. Yep, so 9 chapter storybook with pictures. I wonder who drew the pictures though. Where did she get such a good story, I wonder? Anyway. Oh, dang it. I'm really bad at paying attention. So hopefully you guys got out of it what I always got out of it. It's good. Well, let's think. Luma's kitchen, gate. Are any of these things sounding familiar to you guys? I sure hope so. So this actually kind of explains the whole kind of plot of the story. Or why Rosalina or the Comet festival happens, because of her. Actually, this building should look very familiar to you. You know, the brick buildings and all that junk. That would be that. Or is it? Actually, I think it closely resembles the gate over here, actually. I might as well try to show you some waypoints within. And actually, if you guys remember the very end of the... actually, yeah, see? There's a gate right there. And I skipped it, actually. But, if you guys look very carefully at some of the things, you'll see they closely resemble things you saw in the story. That wasn't the gate. That's not the gate. God, I'm going a little crazy now. I guess I'm a little more scatterbrained. I'm trying to show you guys this awesome stuff, but I can't seem to get to the right spot. Okay, engine room. I guess I was heading the right way. I guess the gate's a little bit higher. See that? Oh, yeah. So yeah, so the building she was building was the kitchen down there. And then right here is the gate, which he was talking about. And, well, actually, well, this is the right one anyway. Anyway, you can go and actually play the first level through the gate. So, this is a curious planet, as I'm sure you guys knew. Let's see if we can... This is the observatory she was talking about, I think. Although, was there a tree on this planet? I don't actually remember seeing a tree here. So, it makes you think that this was the home planet, but this might actually be the very first... Well, actually, this has to be the home planet, because if you think... she wanted to visit this 100 years, and this planet is actually, if you see right down here, this is the planet that we came from. So this right here is actually her home planet. This actually might be the tree that she was laying under and whatnot. Now that I think about it. Huh, interesting. You hop on the tree and you can see everything around it. Actually, now that I'm looking closely enough, there's actually more trees over here. Actually, this kind of makes me think that this is like where her mother lies, because it was under a tree, where if that tree had been fully grown, and this is kind of a weedy area, so it makes you think that maybe her mom was buried there. But anyway, and it's kind of really sad to think about, just kind of everything that she went through, and to think that she left home for this poor little Luma, and then she went on a great journey of her own. Yep, and this is the observatory, and that's actually why when we came here the first time she was here and kind of reflecting. Sup? And then purple coins, blah blah blah. We've already done this. Anyway, guys, well, I hope you learned more about Rosalina. I know that revisiting this, it just kind of reminds me of how sad, but how good this extra little story bit is. So as we look up at the sunrise, or at least the sunrise somewhere, sunset somewhere else. Well, I think I've held you guys here long enough, just kind of explaining what's what about all this stuff. So I guess we're gonna end it here. Here's all the buildings and stuff. And actually, you'll notice that the toad ship greatly reflects the ship that came, or the Luma came in, so, which might actually explain why that toad ship even exists. Maybe the toads found it and then repaired it. Anyway, guys, that's gonna do it for me. This has been Mr. SB is Missing. Thank you for joining me for this bonus episode. And then actually a little later today, I will proceed to release the preview for my next LP. So I hope you guys are looking forward to that. I'm gonna sign out. It's really hard saying goodbye to this game, honestly, just because, I don't know, I've spent just the amount of time I've put into this game. It's just kind of sad to see it go. Yep. Anyway, this is just me being sentimental. So, I'm going to end it here. This has been Mr. Abby's Missing, and I will see you guys in the next video. Surprise! The episode's not actually over yet. So, I did a little bit of catching up. I stated several times during my LP that I need to go back and annotate. I never ended up doing that. However, I did the next closest thing, and what I ended up doing is going back from where I had last annotated, watched all of my episodes up to then, so I can update you guys on all my counters that you guys probably were wondering a little bit about. So, after going through, Starbits wasted. I had wasted a total of 57 Starbits. Now, 24 were wasted in the last episode, but I didn't need them then. I had wasted 33 before then, and actually, episode 21, when I needed the 30 Starbits, I had already wasted 32. and thus, well, that could have been a Hungry Luma fed that I wouldn't have to worry about, and probably would have been a shorter finale. I hit the wall 25 times. That's 25 times that I basically long jumped into a wall, which slowed me down. If I were to guess, that takes about a minute off of my finish time, but nothing too bad, but just interesting. I said dough I missed 11 times. I expected to say it a little bit more, and considering how many opportunities I had, it should have been a little bit higher. But hey, what can you do? So dough I missed 11 times. Obviously I got 120 stars, yay me. Which is awesome. And then as for how many times I died a grand total of 51 times. A lot of deaths, a lot of rage that came accompanied with. But hey, what can you do? I got the game finished and I got it done in a timely manner. So hey. So guys, yep, that's just an update on my counters. I'd like to thank you for sticking with me through Super Mario Galaxy, and I will see you in my next LP. And my next LP, the preview of that, should be uploaded pretty soon here. So, this has been Mr. Happy's Missing, and I will see you in the next video.